Alright peeps, it's been quite a while since I made AM Flow with Hing. You know, I wasn't in the space, but today I am. I am inspired to share with you a few key pointers of how you can stop fighting yourself. Being wholehearted high achievers, can you relate to that tug of war within yourself? That pain of not congruency, part of you like, I need to do this, I'm supposed to do this, and then you end up doing this, and there's that gap, right? That causes so many unnecessary suffering, and depend on how intricate and how deep you are as a human being. There's part of you going to be judging you doing that, and there's also a part of you judging yourself, judging you doing that. I mean, we can go as deep as we want to go in this rabbit hole. Agree? So my intention is to share with you some of the things that I find helpful for me. Trust me, I have many battles within myself and many high achievers that I work over the years. So then it could be useful for you. So by the time you finish this videos, it's going to go, you're going to be experiencing a new sense of peace in your heart. Wouldn't it be nice? That's my intention. So with that, let's take a moment and catch a breather. Let's get you connect to your body real quick, will you? Just breathe with me. Whatever the natural rhythm is, there's no technique that you need to do right now. You know, you may know box breathing, you may know Wim Hof, you may know all these different fancy breathing. Right now, just do your normal breathing. And reconnect back to this meat package, this body, meat sack, whatever you call this. Because a lot of time the disconnection within ourselves can cause that tension, and by simply breathing, just bring you back a little more center in yourself. And in that space, you can receive the information, what I'm saying, a lot easier. So, well, first thing first is to take a moment and be the observer of what's happening, right? A lot of time when we're under distress of part of you fighting, you're gonna think that that's you, right? And you may questioning, oh, what's wrong with me? Why couldn't I figure it out? Why am I still procrastinating? Why am I still anxious? I should be more courageous. Like all these things that cause that gap. So observe that. Chances are there are different parts of yourself. Now there's different way to do this. And actually one of the field, you know, there's a book on IFS, Internal Family System, is a great way of explaining different part. My colleague Nadia wrote a book on Conscious You, the be the hero of your own journey. Also, there's one chapter that she write a different part. So depend on how you resonate with it. But for simplicity, just to pay attention of what's going on and be the observer of what's going on, and remind yourself that I am not any of this. I am the observer, and I experience these part of myself. These are a fragment part of my experiences, right? And you can look at this way, like these are different part of you too. Accumulate over this lifetime or previous lifetime that you believe in past life stuff. To not identify yourself with what's going on, simply observe of what's going on. And by doing that, you give a space and time for whatever that you need within yourself, because chances are these parts need acknowledgement, need acceptance, and need compassion from you. And it's going to start out as resistant, right? So here you are, want to stop procrastinating, right? And then you judging yourself for procrastinating. So you create a ridiculous pressure, a ridiculous fear, worry, anxiety to drive you to not procrastinate, and then you end up procrastinating. But then at the same time, so you're judging you for that, but there's a part of you like, but that's not a really high functional way of doing your high self, like it's not. So there's that gap. So how are you about to go at that? So there's a part of you want to judge that part. So instead of judgment, I'm inviting you to make space. This is one of the most important in any healing, in my opinion, is to make space and time to understand that part, to acknowledge that part, and eventually get to acceptance. Now, can you get acceptance right away? It's no. Because if you don't have understanding, the part will resist first. Let's say if you and your friend disagree on something, right? And when you don't understand people, they tend to be defensive. They want to fight you for it. But if you can create space and time to let that person know that, you know, I actually understand you, that person can calm down. So that part of you going to need that. Whether it's your inner child, or whether a version of you that been traumatized and wounded in this life or past life, that part of you need time. Need whatever the energy that you stuffed down at that time, it need to come up. It need to be acknowledged. It need to be accepted. It need to be loved. It need to be supported, and it need to release on its own time. But a lot of time, being a high achiever, you don't give it that space and time. You don't give this body or that part of yourself a chance to catch up. And I don't know if I referenced this already. A really good book is The Body Keeps Score. You can, when you read the books, you can see how the body really hold on to stuff, and it's create pockets of you, fragment of you. And when it's not in peace, it's gonna fight each other. So if you are the observer here, the leader, the CEO, the captain of your ship, how are you gonna facilitate this? Up to this point, you may have harshly judged, you may have harshly have them fight against each other, but has it been working out for you so far? Well, apparently not, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this, right? So then how can you graciously facilitating all these peace so they can come in peace and in grace? And I'm going to repeat this again. Space and time to allow acknowledgement, allow acceptance, for that to come into its own sense. You don't need to even make peace. You just need to make space for each part to exist as is. And then from there, the integration going to happen on its own, which is take to the third piece, is once you make that space and time, which is the most difficult part, especially in this very high demanding, busy world, to make that time and space. You know, one of my recommendation with my one-on-one client or the group that I'm teaching IAM is to have a daily practice of sitting with yourself and to let go all the shit that doesn't matter to you anymore, that doesn't line up with who you are in the state of being anymore. To simply do the love framework. And if you haven't already, I believe I make a video on that, and go check that out, the love framework. Back to this moment right now. Once you acknowledge and accept, then you can bridge. You can consciously making a bridge. Literally. So in your sitting, you can visualize the bridge, or you can intentionally set the bridge, and there you can experience that. So do this with me for a second. Breathe in to your body, and chances are you're going to feel the tension of that disconnection, right? Just be with me for a moment. Okay, so just breathe and be the observer in the process, and hang there with me. Just observe. Connect to it. Some of you may not connect to it, and that's okay. Depend where you are in your journey, right? Some of you, if you've done the work already, you can probably drop into it really quick and fast. And if you are in my community, more than likely that's you, right? You've done the work, and right now you want to deepen it. So in this space, and obviously you've done some version of this before, how can you literally make the space inside your body to acknowledge and to accept that part for what it is? So this may start out as a form of resistance. Instead of judging the resistance, stop the resistance, or resist yourself to resist, try to relax through it and let it move through you. So you may experience some discomfort in this time right now. Just breathe. Good. And if you can, do some compassionate work and put your hand where that tension is and say, genuinely, authentically say, I am sorry that you feel da 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 da. So you speak from your higher self to that part of yourself. I'm so sorry that you feel judged. I'm so sorry that you didn't feel love or supported the way that you need it. Whatever it is, give us a moment, connect to that. And I'm so sorry for the disconnections that you're feeling right now. So after you're moving through that space, naturally, in your own time, see if you can put a bridge between these parts. by step into your best state of being. I am a peacemaker between all my parts. Every part inside this body is harmoniously functioning at the optimal level. Step into that. And if you feel the resistance within those statements, just let that energy move through you. Because whatever that you stuff down, just let it. The best thing you can do for yourself right now is to do nothing. And just let it. You already work so hard in your life. You're already trying to push and do things so much in your life. And this is the one of the few moments I'm asking you not to. To surrender to this moment and to allow your body to relax through this discomfort. Breathe into it. And as you breathe into it, you're going to feel the space expand a little bit more. Space and time is important to bring that peace. Intention is important to bring that peace. Because you are the captain of the ship. You are the CEO of this body. You are the driver of this vehicle. So you get to set the sail and you set the course for what you ultimately want to experience. Like I said before, you may have done some version of this, but at this moment, maybe this is exactly what you need to hear, and let it for what it is. Take it for what it is. Breathe into it. Good. Thanks for hanging with me. and I would take this to your daily sitting. And if there's something more intense come up, allow other professionals to support you. Because you are not alone in this journey. When you're ready, the teacher showed up. Just like how I'm showing up in your screen right now at this moment. Because I'm supposed to show up in your screen right now. And life will work out its course. Each moment will reveal itself if you can just allow yourself to trust that. If you can allow for this body to experience peace and harmony. Well, that's the flow, but I didn't really plan what I'm going to say to you. I hope it's helpful for you at your AM, which is authentic moment. Please share in the comment of how it helped you, what your takeaway from it. And most importantly, how are you going to take that insight and implement forward in your life? All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you think this is helpful for somebody to have access to this, please feel free to share to those heart. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and set a notification, and we'll let you know when the next video come out. Until then, I'm sending a lot of peace from my heart to yours and from beautiful Hawaii to wherever you are in the world.